I don't think you have much choice. It's up to the lady.
Mama, Dr. Nardella will have to examine you. Is that all right with you?
It's not only all right, I insist upon it. I want to prove to you and to Kathleen and to Cheryl and your father that I'm not lying. That I did not just knowingly abandon my family. What's your father's phone number, MJ?
I think that you ought to let me call Pops. Let me just call Dr. Nardella first to make sure that he can make it over here this afternoon.
MJ, step into my office for just a minute.
What? What's wrong?
We have another problem here.
What?
Your mother wants to tell Vince everything, right?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Well, does everything include her extramarital affair to Mr. Wonderful over there?
Let's just pray that it doesn't.
Just as well. Let's finally get the truth out in the open and end this ridiculous farce.
Oh, I know what the truth is.
Really?
You did something to Mary to make her stay with you.
I didn't have to do anything.
You used drugs or hypnotism. Maybe even you're blackmailing her.
What an exotic imagination you have, McKinnon. I can think of a much simpler explanation. Perhaps the real truth is you just weren't worth remembering.
Damn you to the devil!
No! Come on!
Hey, what's going on here?
Hey, come on! Back there!
Cut it out! I'll kill him!
Why did you leave these two guys alone?
Why did you let Reginald back?
Hey, would you just all please calm down? We have more important things to consider here.
Attack me again, McKinnon, and you'll hear from my lawyer. The only reason I let Marissa go through with this was to put her mind at ease.
Her name is Mary. And the reason she's here is because she cares about her real family.
Yes, I do.
Mary. Oh, Mary, it's so good to have you back with us. We've missed you so much.
I'm sorry. I understand things a little better now.
And you remember?
No, I don't. I just can fill in some of the missing pieces.
Mama, I think we should wait until the doctors come back in.
But you're not going back with him, are you? I mean, after what he's done to you.
Pops, Mama has been through a real rough time. Just back off a little, okay?
Given the anoxia near drowning,
Have to
combined
know.
with long-term mechanical ventilation.
Well, after the surgery, it was almost inevitable that she would lose some cognitive function.
Now, I'm sorry this took us so long, but Dr. Lewis and I wanted to check our findings before we shared them with you.
I think we should all sit down.
Well, what's the story, Doctor?
And Dr. Lewis performed a life-saving operation on Mrs. McKinnon. It required the most delicate surgery of the brain. And under the circumstances, it was almost inevitable that there would be some residual damage.
And the damage was loss of memory?
Brain surgery is always a risky proposition. Even the slightest pressure from a delicate instrument can cause permanent harm. To preserve one vital function, you might have to sacrifice non-essential functions. Considering Mrs. Love almost drowned, spent weeks on a respirator, it's a wonder that she survived brain surgery with only memory loss.
And those memories of my life before the operation will never return.
Given the current state of the art, I'm afraid that's true.
Does that mean that when my mother came out of the operation, she was essentially a different person?
Oh, I wouldn't say that, MJ. While your mother can't remember her past or her past skills, her natural abilities and instincts are the same.
Well, now, what does that mean exactly?
Supposing Mrs. McKinnon had been a ballet dancer before the accident, afterwards she would no longer be able to dance, but would have the natural abilities and aptitudes for it. It would be possible to relearn the skill. But the most important point that Dr. Lewis and I want to stress is that Mrs. McKinnon is alive and in good health, and I trust you will remain so.
Thank you, doctors. I know how busy both of you are, so we'll let you get back to your regular duties. Mr. Nardella, I see you. Thank you, Dr. Lewis.
How you feeling, Mary?
I don't know.
But now we know there's hope for us.
Vince.
You heard what the doctor said. You don't lose your natural instincts. And you were, such a wonderful, beautiful wife and mother. It'll all come back to you. I know it will. You need a little time, that's all.
I hope she's not going to tell you about that affair that she had with Reginald, is she?
Well, let's hope not.
I do need time for a lot of things. But at least now you know. And you know that I'm not a liar.
Oh, I know, Mama.
Listen, I never thought you were.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I was angry, confused. I just didn't know what I was saying.
I don't want to lie to you about anything. That's why I think that, you should know.
Pops, Mama looks real tired. I think we should let her get some rest.
Yeah, I think we could all use a little time out.
Yeah.
Come on, Vince.
I'll call you.
Vince.
I'll be in touch real soon, you'll see.
Darling, I'm sorry you had to go through all this.
Poor man. My children.
It's been a terrible ordeal for you.
Not for me, for Vince. Just think how terrible all these years were for him.
It would have been even more difficult if you'd known the truth.
He really, really loved me. If I'd just known.
What would you have done? You were going to leave him anyway.
Was I really?
You know that. We were going to run away together.
But how could I do that to him?
You were a woman in love. Darling, I told you how it happened. We were in love, and we decided that nothing was going to keep us from being together.
You told me that today. For 17 years, you've been telling me something else.
We've been all through this. I thought you understood. Whatever I did because I loved you, and I couldn't bear the thought of losing you.
So you made up a past for me that was a total lie.
Because I loved you.
And that's why you told me that we'd been married before the accident.
We were, in spirit.
You took me away, out of the country.
To build a new life.
What about my old life?
It had nothing to do with
I had a
us.
husband. I had 4 children. What kind of a love is it that takes a mother away from her children? How could you do that to me? How could you do that to my children?
Marissa, Mary,
No.
listen. Marissa. Marissa, don't leave.
My name is Mary, and I think from now on, you should really call me by my right name.
Wait, Marissa. Mary, please.
Why?
You can't do this. We have to talk.
I don't have anything to say.
No, I can't accept that. Not after all we've been to each other.
Please let go of me.
Please, Mary, don't do this. I can't let you go out of my life. Don't do this.
I'm not doing anything. I think actually you've already done it all.